So the data are heterogeneous, the structure, the computation process, and the documentation. With one word, I can say they use different approach, different modeling of the data. So the idea is, first of all, how we can access data, represent and compute data of different sources. From the time being an economist in 90s, I have to go to download papers and to re-engineer part of the index, so it takes some time, and most of the times you don't finish this composite index. So here with semantic web, there's a great opportunity. And the opportunity is, this is some examples. I can tell you many things about the web index because I'm the lead researcher for Greece, so I can explain to you how it works as an example, but also Jose and the other colleagues have made very interesting work in cloud usage, index, etc. So it's time, the hard time for definitions. It's now a quantitative index. It's a technique to collect in just one value a set of indicators. In composite, it's an index of, of indexes. Okay, so and this can be made with an ordered weighted average, and there's techniques and methodology for this thing. Graphically, you have one extra level of aggregation in statistical speaking. Vocabularies. In the linked data community, there are three, and fortunately for us, also now in European statistic community, there is the SDMX vocabulary, which is based on the RDF DataCube vocabulary, which is now a standard, if I want to say with one word, to cut a slice of every data set and communicate it with the people they want to use it, without having been an expert in data, URIs, schemas, or even in metadata. So these are the three approaches. I have used the RDF DataCube vocabulary, and it becomes now a standard in various communities. So the idea is how to model and to represent statistical data. This is a very brief report of the main work on the statistics related to the web of data. That's for the reference. And let's go to the main two contributions of the work. First of all, there is a representation issue, a high-level model on top of the RDF DataCube vocabulary, because RDF DataCube vocabulary is used to describe the parts. So you need a way to model these different parts. And the second one, which is equally important, is to be computable. That's the difference with the old-time work. They have created a Java Spark-based processor to exploit and actually to realize the composite index. This is the methodology of a very simple exam. This is the steps, mathematical or statistical-wise, are very simple and can be seen in the paper. This is the example, how they got real life data and make the composite index. Here, the steps, let's say, the algorithm is, first of all, you define the structure and computation of the index. I think that's the modeling work which is the most important one. And the second, you run the steps in order to make the aggregation and the final modeling. So, if you want to see pictures, first of all, we define the structure, meaning the components, the indicators, the composition of components, etc. in RDF DataCube elements. And secondly, we run the Java SPARQL-based processor in order to compose the new composite index. Definitions. Again, these three levels of information: observation, dataset, aggregated dataset, which is the result of the composite index. Scope and consequences. First of all, there are some, let's say, necessary conditions in order to compute data. You can find details on paper, and this is the mapping. It's very useful if you are familiar with the data cube vocabulary. You can see the mapping in order to be on top of existing data sets or indices of the RDF index. Example, of course, I'm going to explain this for clarity. You can find it in the presentation. Two things in order to go to the final step of this very brief presentation is that, first of all, there's an existing work from the same team in the Computex index, where is a vocabulary for statistical computation. Is a lower level way of doing statistics. There's actually, they have managed to combine these two proposals. You can find a demo on the website, computexterracap.com. You can try all this methodology. Ongoing working examples. As I told you before, one very interesting work and which is applied in real life example is the cloud index, which is measures the quality of service. Cloud services, as you may know now, have moved in the business arena, where quality is related to pricing, etc. There's some competition there. You can see an example about the cloud index. Another very interesting example. In 2 days, on Friday in London, Tim Berners-Lee announced the Web Index of 2013. What is Web Index? Web Index is an index of the economic and social impact of the web in a country, but in a way that can be comparable. Guess what? In 2012, Sweden scored 100 in the Web Index. We'll see what Greece will score in 2 days. We did the research on that, and you can find many interesting things there, because every aspect is evaluated in a 3 levels peer review evaluation, blind 2 of them. But the interesting part that is related with the current work is that it's not a single traditional index. There is the, let's say, the part of the genuine index where researchers are collecting data, and then these data are combined with some of the other indexes. It's a composite index where you can get the data through a Spark endpoint. So you can reuse it for policy or research purposes. Advantages: data sources, data management applying the linked data principles, that's the machinery behind the RDF index. Structure, automatic validation and verification. We did that manually with many errors in the past. Of course, there's a native approach using SPARQL by default, as it was encased preliminary, the idea of linked data, not exposed. That's very important. And there's implicit multilingual and multicultural support. Here you can see the detail. The restrictions is that Spark 1.1 support is supported in not all functions. It's a standard under ongoing process. Okay, so you cannot expect that everything is working 100% in this methodology. The workings up show its applicability, but some lack of term relationship, of course, should be expected. Conclusions. The use of quantitative indexes is a common practice to compile and rank indicators for making decisions. Actually, is indicators in the linked data era. That's the idea. Existing indexes are completely opaque, as we discussed before, PDF or HTML. It's necessary to improve the access to data, metadata, and to boost transparency. And one implementation in this direction is the ADEF index, where you can use it on top of existing data vocabulary in order to create a composite index. Thank you very much, and sorry for my speed and my way of combining all this stuff. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Question?
I would like to know what is the performance of doing statistics on this data in RDF?
As far as I know, in this level where the data are in the order of hundreds of thousands or millions, there is no problem of speed. In having run it, in this case, in the work we're doing in public spending, we are handling some gigabytes of CSVs where they files them without problem. But I don't know, when you use the data cube vocabulary, things are becoming faster in some way. But in this web index, for instance, there is no issue of processing from 100 countries, around 75 indicators for each one. I know that a very standard VM it was used and there was no problem on computation.
Questions? No. No question? RDF index is focused on economics and social aspects to define indexes on these aspects. Or it's rather general?
It's generic.
It's generic.
Statistics.
Okay,
So exactly, you can put whatever context you want. If you got data and numbers,
so you can define metrics or items.
if you can describe them as metadata and link data, you can have a NADEF index out of them.
Questions? Thank you. And our last presenter will be Nalini Mashankar. She works for the International Monetary Fund. She's a team leader for the metadata team at the IMF. Her presentation will be about metadata standards, but on the business side and its application in the involved accounts.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. I'm from the International Monetary Fund. My presentation today will focus really on the business side and how we work with different countries in IMF to develop metadata standards and how we use the metadata standards in various initiatives, mainly with regards to statistics and how we improve the national and IMF data. This slide here is pointing to four things that we do in the area of metadata standards. The first is we use metadata standards to monitor the data quality of countries. These are the member countries that are the members of IMF, and we have a data standard that we tell countries to follow, and that's how we use it. And then the second initiative is with regards to my colleague who presented before was talking about statistical data and metadata exchange. This is a standard that we agreed with other international organizations and countries for the exchange of data in a